Welcome to the August 8th meeting of the Village Board of Trustees. You can contact us at 769-1677 if you're watching on August 8th, Monday night. Obviously, the mayor is not here. He got stuck on Block Island, the poor thing. But for us Yankee fans out there, we're very happy he's not here because he's a Boston Red Sox fan. So we're very, very happy he's not here. Our next regular meeting will be held on August 22nd at 8 p.m. on a work session at 7 p.m. In our work session today, we met with the library board, and they presented to us a proposal for some repairs that are needed at the Mount Pleasant Public Library, where we share the expenses with the town of Mount Pleasant. They presented the same proposal to the town of Mount Pleasant last Tuesday, I would imagine it was, seeing they have their meetings on Tuesday night. The repairs include removal and replacement of the parking lot, some pumps, the roof, windows,
Air handler.
The air handler, and the parking lot, I said, which would total about $1.7 million in estimated cost at this point. So we will talk about that together and with the town of Mount Pleasant and decide what we're going to do. I'm the only one with an announcement. Do you have an announcement? Any
Please
announcement?
go ahead.
Okay. Stephen? This is a good note. The Village of Pleasantville has a swim team, and you all know this is very near and dear to my heart. And I just wanted to congratulate the team because they, not we anymore, but what happens is we're in a Division II. Last year we went 0-5. We did not win one meet, and this year we went 4-1 in Division II. Because we didn't win any meets last year, we moved down to Division II, and because we went 4-1 this year, we moved back up to Division I, which we're not so happy about because we had a lot of fun winning all those meets in Division II. But at our championship meet, where you swim only one swimmer against everybody else in your division, if you win that race, you go to the All-Stars. And we had a 8-and-under boys relay team who not only won at championships, they went to the All-Stars and they set a record. So I just wanted to congratulate our 8-and-under boys 100 freestyle relay, Liam McGrinder, Eric Roy, Aiden Lynch, and Eli Rosenshine, and they set a record of 1 minute and 7 seconds, .12 in the 100 freestyle relay. Rosie Riley, for her, I think it's her 4th consecutive year, won the breaststroke in her age group at 33.78, and which was probably one of the most exciting things. Our 12-and-under boys 200 freestyle relay didn't even know they were swimming at All-Stars, but the team that beat them at championships was disqualified. So when our coaches got to All-Stars, they were told by the Northern Westchester Swim Conference, get your team together because they're swimming in All-Stars. And sure enough, they went and they won. And so that was Jason Frank, Mitchell Rosenshine, Matt Rule, and Tirdad Behabani. I always say their name wrong. But it was our head coach this year was Tyler Colangelo, and he had 4 great assistant coaches, a great Pleasantville swim team board headed by Petra Zorgman, and we want to thank Linda also too, who did an unbelievable job. But it was a very exciting season. Unfortunately, they are moving back up to Division I. So that was my announcement. Anybody else?
Well, I'd like to congratulate Australia for their win of the Tour de France, and Japan for their win of the Women's World Cup.
Any Village of Pleasantville? This is the Village of Pleasantville's only Village of Pleasantville sports team. I want you to know.
I think they did a great job.
Yeah, they did a wonderful job. So anyway, we'll go right to any oral communications from the audience. No? Phone calls, again, 769-1677. If not, we'll go right to resolutions. Steve, 169.
Resolve the pre-check register dated August 8th, 2011, covering check numbers 70097 through 70248, has been reviewed and hereby approved as listed below. General Fund, $154,744.37. The Water Fund, $10,484.83. The Capital Fund, $1,431.20. The refuse fund, $8,173.49. The pool fund, $10,018.17, for a total of $184,852.60.
Second.
Any comments? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brian, 170.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees has reviewed the minutes of the meeting held on Monday, July 25th, 2011, and they are hereby approved.
Second.
Comments? Corrections? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Steve.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village treasurer to refund forfeited deposits from the escrow fund to the general fund in the amount of $28,080.
Second.
Comments? Corrections? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just do
Yeah.
the top, and then we're going to have them explain.
Oh, all right. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Pleasantville hereby authorizes the village clerk to notice a public hearing for Monday, August 22nd, 2011, 8 p.m. prevailing time, to hear comments as it pertains to a local law establishing part-time constable to the code of the Village of Pleasantville.
That's good enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Second.
Patty,
Is this the
you
Barn
want
and
to...
Fife?
Patty, you want to explain it?
I'd be happy to. There's some inconsistencies between the state law and county civil service with respect to court officers. And as you know, we have 2 court officers that work on Tuesday nights part-time. And the problem is that we have them as armed officers of the court. And in order to carry a handgun in New York State, you either have to be a peace officer or a police officer. The county does not have a particular civil service position for peace officers, so we call them court attendants. When we filed for their registry to get them certified by the state, where they get pistol training and everything else, and they are recognized only as court attendants, and we need them to be constables. Short of it is, we have to create the position. You know, this is really the long story short. We have to create the position of constable, call them constable for the state's purposes, so the state can recognize them on their registered list of people that are authorized to carry a handgun in the state.
And is that what other courts do?
Yes. Yeah,
Everybody
Ossining-
does this?
Well, what we gave you is Ossining's local law, which they had done in order to, because they're a village as well, and they didn't have the mechanism in place to have their court officers carry handguns.
So this was, the fact that we have these court officers anyway was also mandated by the state, wasn't it?
As a best practice.
Right.
Yes.
And
It's totally, I mean, there's nothing
It's
wrong with what we
understandable,
have. I mean, it's just a mechanical issue with state law. I mean, they are trained, they're certified, just like our police officers are. They have annual training for handguns. They go through the entire program.
Court officers do?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, we don't have any issues with that, but the problem is the state won't put them on the registry as being recognized without having a constable status. So we have to create the title. We
And-
have the people.
And
We've had them for a couple of
do all
years.
courts in villages of our size have armed court officers?
Yes, but most of them are their own police officers,
Yeah.
and that's the difference. They use their own police.
So
right.
this is...
Or they would use a retired officer sometimes if they
Right.
have a retired police officer.
right.
But there's always an armed...
Yeah, and they're always,
presence.
and these people are on the state registry as having, the right to carry a permit.
Right.
The permit
Right.
rights, to carry
Right.
a handgun. So this is a matter of it's housekeeping. You see the letter that the state had sent back in April, just advising us that
Yeah.
they recognize that our, court officers are up there and that they've been trained, but they can't put them on the registry unless they get the title of constable. So,
Okay.
all right. So what we need really is just to amend. We need a local law creating the position.
And in order to do that, we have to have a public hearing.
Right.
Which, as stated by Brian, August 22nd at 8 p.m. there will be a public
Right.
hearing.
We're not hiring anybody new.
Right.
We're not expanding our
Mhm.
budget. This is just to
Just in
you
the
know.
law. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
make it
Aye.
work.
Aye. Stephen, 173?
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the mayor to sign an access agreement with the New York City Department of Environmental Protection to allow access onto property owned by the Village of Pleasantville along the Catskill Aqueduct. Said project is to repair significant erosion and prevent further damage to this location.
Second.
Comments?
I think you've had this presentation almost a year ago.
Almost a
Right,
year
we
ago.
did.
This is
Yeah.
the same.
That's right.
Do you want to explain it, Patty, where it's on the actual aqueduct? This isn't the leak that's at the end of Leland Avenue.
No, this is pretty
This is-
far into
yeah, this is pretty-
parkland. There was what they're saying, a substantial breach and also some rerouting of the brook after
Right.
Hurricane Floyd
Mhm.
that got progressively worse and started to erode the cover of the Catskill Aqueduct, at least, the...
Well, the brook flows over
Right.
the
Well,
aqueduct.
it's not supposed to.
I know.
But it does now.
It's the aqueduct,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And they're concerned about that, and they should be. And what they want to do is restore the brook back to its original stream
Right.
channel.
And I remember that presentation that they gave us. I just want to, I guess, I would want to make sure that, and I don't see here, I would just hate it if they went back there and started cutting trees in that area.
No, they need to go to the Planning Commission now with a comprehensive...
So we'll know, we
Yeah.
aren't going to wake up with.
Well,
There
their
are no
concern
trees
is that
left over there anyway.
No,
Well, there are.
Well,
I mean,
there are very few.
where they have to cut it.
They'll need to get a quick...
Yeah, I know, there's not a lot of trees left over there.
I
They
think
cut
that
them
they're
all
very,
down.
of all agencies, I think the EP would be the most conscientious, hopefully. But they do need access in order to assess what they have to do, and that's what this is
Okay.
about.
But Brian has a good point. Is there any way that, we're granting them access to our property, but it doesn't say anything about the fact that before they cut any, if there is a tree in the way, that requires an additional, permission by us?
Well, it all would. Right now, they're just going on property to do surveys and take soil samples.
Well, except in...
To come up with the scope of work, and then they're compelled to go to the Planning Commission and describe what it is they want to do, and the Planning Commission will control, the scope of the work. So, I mean, that's obviously in the park, that's going to be the primary point of focus, what natural resources are going to be compromised, if any, and how can they do this with minimal impact. And also, what can they do to perhaps, give us a better situation with respect to erosion control and runoff toward Nannahagan Lake in the future.
Right.
So,
Well, the description of their activities is, consists of inspecting the property, including reconnaissance and taking surveys, photographs, soil, groundwater, and other such samples at and/or under the property for the purpose of conducting an environmental investigation by DEP into the causes of stream diversion, and further to conduct all necessary work to remediate stream diversion and resulting erosion, including but not limited to stream restoration, culvert restoration, and stabilization and reinforcement of the soil covering over the Catskill.
See, and that's a part of it that worries me, because it doesn't say that this is part of the reconnaissance. This says further to conduct all necessary work to remediate stream diversion and resulting, not limited to stream restoration, culvert restoration, and that can include a lot of things.
I know, but it didn't seem to, I mean, they did
I
present
don't
to
remember
us.
them saying-
They
yeah.
seem like good
Yeah.
guys, but
But they
so
can't do
did Con
anything
Ed.
without, they can't do anything. They can't put a shovel in the ground without the Planning Commission.
Right.
Really? So
approving
we're
it.
not authorizing that?
No, we're authorizing them to get on site to define the scope.
Yeah, license to enter
Yeah.
and,
But I
Yeah,
understand
But that's
the
not,
concern.
I'm just pointing out, that's not what this says.
Right, but if you look at, well, it does in the second
It says
clause.
subject to.
Yeah, it's subject to. I mean, what it's telling us in the description is what they intend to do, and then the second clause is saying, we understand what the project scope will involve, but you can't do anything until the Planning Commission authorizes it.
and the mayor's not here to sign it now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we can clean that up to make it
Right.
clearer. I mean, I'm fine with that. This is a draft, and I wrote most of it, so I have it
Okay.
Okay,
on
well, that's
Word.
good. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
right.
Keep the trees.
Right.
No,
Okay.
I totally understand.
All in favor?
All right.
All right.
Aye. And Brian, 174.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the retirement letter from Olga Salvato dated August 2nd, 2011, advising of her retirement effective October 28th, 2011.
Second.
we'd just like, Olga has been with us for how many years?
This is about 18 years.
18 years, and we just want to thank her for her extraordinary service and her dedication to the Village of Pleasantville, and we wish her a great retirement, and finally to hope she can enjoy her free time. All in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Patty, I'm sorry, did you want to add something?
No, that's fine. Thank you very
Okay.
much. And, you know, Olga will be sorely missed. She's
Yes.
been a wonderful addition to our little village work family, and also a very dedicated employee.
Yes, sure was. Thanks, Patty. 175, Steve?
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby sets the rate for permit parking tags for the new municipal parking lot located at 434 Manville Road as follows. Our resident rate would be $550, and the business rate would be $590.
Brian?
Second.
All in favor?
I
I'm sorry, did you have comments?
are we calling it the new lot? Is it just?
Well, I just wanted to distinguish between the other.
The old Manville lot and the new Manville lot.
Right, I mean, a naming opportunity, right?
I thought that
I
we
think
were
it's just going to
gonna,
be Manville Lot once.
We're just going to name it one name.
we can name it the Nona lot.
He's already got
Oh, he already has a park.
He's got a square already.
He's got square footage in the village.
Oh, that's good.
But we should name it.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Don't worry about it now.
Okay, don't worry
Yeah,
about
this
it.
is
just
not
need
a
to
problem
order
now.
them. We need to order
Okay.
them.
And I went back there. Did you go back there today to see that there's a big machine?
Oh, well,
and,
tomorrow will be very busy back there.
Containers, asbestos guys busy, and they'll take it down tomorrow. is
Tomorrow
that-
they start the demolition.
We were talking about the Lane Plumbing property where we're taking the buildings down tomorrow. So exciting.
Okay, we had an all in favor, Judy? You had everybody? You had the vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Could I just ask, was this also tied into the rate adjustment for the existing lot down the street?
I thought that was going to be for next year. I thought we weren't going to. Yeah, that'd be next year's rate.
Which, I'm sorry.
I think he's talking about Cooley
Okay.
and Cooley Bedford to change that
Right.
rate to the 550.
Okay, that concludes our resolutions.
Yes, this is
And
current. Yes, thank
we're
you,
going to
Steve.
head back into work session to meet with the Conservation Advisory Council for some updates, and we're going to discuss the Westchester County Stormwater Management, Sawmill, River Basin Watershed Advisory Board. That's a long discussion. Thank you, and we'll see you on August 22nd at 8 o'clock.
Just do a motion to close.
Motion to
So moved.
close.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.